Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to talk about this new electric bicycle with a sidecar. The brand it's RZZLGY. I'm not sure if I pronounce right, but you can see in the title or in the description the name. Again, this is one of the kind electric bicycle with a sidecar you will not find almost anywhere. Also, it's kind of becoming popular. I will talk in this video about my experience, what I think, what can be improved, if this bike can be modded. Also, we'll go over some specification, size, and everything else you might want to know about this electric bicycle with a sidecar, and that's why I will make this video. So first, this bike comes with single battery like mine, which currently listed for $3,099. If you buy dual battery options, it will be $3,299. So it's not the cheap electric bicycle with a sidecar you might think of, because sounds like, wow, the bicycle have very basic specification, even below than some of the basic bicycles in about $700 range. Yes, I think this bicycle itself will not cost more than $800. But because the sidecar, that bring up the value. Also, the size of the battery pretty large. I will show you how much battery weight now. And I want to show you the difference in the battery. So I have this battery from this car, with a sidecar electric bicycle. And this one is from Lucky X2. So they claim this one is a 20 amp battery. And I'll show you close up. As you can see, 48 by 20 amp, 960 watt hours, and discharge is 25 amp, which is great. And they use, I believe, with a Samsung cell or LG cells. And we're gonna check the weight. Okay, it's the same type of shell, and the weight is only 10 pounds and looks like 18 ounce. I'm gonna change units to grams. 4,592 gram, this battery weight. Okay, and they say the side, I'm not sure, I cannot pronounce the name of this brand, but it's with a sidecar. We're gonna put it on as well. And this one is 5,050. They claim it's as 15 amp, so I'm pretty sure it's 15 amp or more, because this battery does not come with any information other than when it was made, and that's it. There's no tagging, nothing on this battery. So I would assume it's at least 15 amp, since based on the weight. And this one is 20 amp, but because they use different type of cells, maybe they use the same cells type, so it might be 20 or even above than 20 amp battery. Again, I cannot check unless I open it, and I will not open it. But they do have at least 15 amp battery, and actually it lasts pretty long. So again, I'm not sure if it's accurate information because there's no stock, as I said earlier. So it says 15 amp battery, which might be actually larger in my opinion, because it should last longer. So let's talk about the bike itself as performance. So I see, if you saw my previous video, or if you want to see it, you can check link in description or probably link above. So let's talk about the bike performance. So since this is more like e-tricycles type, because there's 3 wheels, these bicycles are not meant to be fast. It can only reach, with my weight on 215 pounds, 50 miles an hour. With my son in the basket can reach also 15 miles an hour. With the pedaling and me alone will reach 15 miles an hour. With my son in the basket and pedaling assist will reach 50 miles an hour. If you pedal harder, you might go 60 miles an hour, but that's probably the maximum you're gonna get with this type of weight. If you lighter, maybe you're gonna get a little bit more speed, but again, this is the safest speed to travel on this bike. Because the sidecar, it makes a little bit heavier, of course. Also, this bike itself made out of steel, and that makes a little bit more heavy. This bike is not high performance bicycle you might think of, because it looks like Super 73, but it's not Super 73. And I'm gonna show you all the information close up so you can see why I mean it's not Super 73. Basically, it's just basic electric bicycle to travel with a child in a basket, or with a pet, or with a small person in it. Because this basket actually pretty large, can fit probably somebody who is 5 feet tall, or even 5'2" most likely. It comes with a seat and also with a seat belt, with all the features in it. So this bike is pretty safe to ride, because it comes with different features for safety as well. So this bike is not for everyone, as I said earlier in the previous video. If you want to see the full video, you can check link above or in description, where I did review and testing. But we're gonna go today with all the information you might have question about, and see if this bicycle actually right for you, and go over some measurement on this bike as well, and anything I missed maybe in prior video. So this bike comes with two 20 by 4 inches wheels on the bike. The basket comes with a 16 by 4, so it's a little bit smaller. Okay. This bike does not have any display other than indication of the battery, so it makes it very basic. But again, it's not really important, because you don't really pay attention to the speed. Since this is only 50 miles an hour, you will feel the speed while you travel it. You will not go anywhere faster. This bike does come with a few features, like it comes with a key, where you can like ignition key, so nobody can really use this bike unless you have a key to start it. Put the battery in, you will need to turn on the battery, then the bike will be on. So you insert the key, it will turn on actually. Once you insert the key and twist the key, then you will have a horn or bright headlight and tail light. So it comes with all the features you need. But the throttle will not work. The reason it will not work, because it's a safety feature. You need to push any brake, right or left, before it will start to move. If you don't push them, okay, it will not work. Also, you have to pedal it to activate the pedal assist, if you want to use only pedal assist. But the throttle will only activate it while you push brake first. To cut off the power, you just push the brakes or release the throttle, and it will stop the power in the bike. So it's very safe to ride. The brakes, front and rear, right here, is mechanical brakes, 160 millimeter only on the front and rear wheel. The basket itself does not have any braking system at all, and there is no motor to the basket, because it does not really need it for the speed to travel. And now I want to go over the measurement, because you want to know the size as well, and I'll give you most accurate information now, because I don't know if the website will have it or not. So the handlebar is 24.5 inches wide. It's about 42 inches from the ground, but depend on the position of the handlebar. As mine is, as you can see, I installed on the angle, because I'm 5'11", and it's still too far away, so I can move it closer to me to sit more comfortable. The wheelbase, it's about 46 inches, so it's not really long. But if you look tire to tire length, will be 65 inches. So the bike itself should fit most of the bike rack. The seat from the ground, actually, it's I missed it before. So the seat from the ground, it's about 31 inches on the lower part, and on the higher part it's about 32 inches, 31 and a half actually. So it's a low part over here, and over here it's higher. And the seat is pretty comfortable, actually, a nice seat, long, two people can fit. I'm gonna measure the wideness, and it's about, I'm gonna measure like this. It's not gonna be super accurate, but I'll try my best. So it's about 45 inches wide with the basket and with the base. Okay, so, and length of the basket itself, it's about 45 inches long, and it's about 20 inches wide. So it's pretty large basket, and that's why, and it's very good quality actually made, the basket, pretty comfortable. And seat can be adjusted a bit back or further, so depend, you can just unscrew some bolts, actually nuts or bolts, and move it maybe 1 inch, can go up and down like. And I almost missed it. The platform for the basket would be 33 inches from the left side all the way to the end, so it's about 33 inches wide. So if you need to remove it and put in a car, so it's 33 inches like this, and the height, so it will be 27 inches from the ground, include the wheel, up to the highest point. So 33 inches wide, 27 height, and the length I already said to you. So it's very simple to disassemble if you need to, but it will take some time. You have to have special tools. So you would need to remove these nuts right here. Okay, so it's holding pretty well actually. I know that some basket comes without this arm, but this one actually additional security, so it will not move anywhere, which actually makes this bike attachment much safer, but at the same time it's reduce any flexibility. So if you remove that part, I think it will be better on the turns. So when you turn left or right, it will move better with you, so the wheel will not pick up in the air when you're making turns, sharp turns usually. So that's probably something I would consider to upgrade if possible. And some like shock might be working, so it can adjust or make it softer, so this way the basket will move up and down. But again, I'm not sure what device to install there yet. And the mounting point, it's pretty solid, since this bike actually hardtail, so there's only attached to rear frame, and the frame is steel, so it's very solid attached with nice large bolts, so it will not go anywhere, very secured as well. And underneath the frame, actually one of the thickest built, it's very nice and solid frame made out of steel. So they told me it can hold up to 90 kilo. So it's a pretty solid basket, I say. 90 kilo, it's about 190 pounds. It does come with a kickstand over here, which you don't really need it because you can remove it, because if you have the sidecar touch, it's very solid, it will not move right or left, so you can sit easily on this bike without losing any balance. Much safer than tricycle I tried before. Also, it's very easy to use this bike. It comes with a ignition key you would need to turn on. Very simple display, only show you the battery level. The it's empty, will not blink until it's probably empty. Actually, I rode it like maybe 5 miles on it, and the battery never dropped. So the battery pretty large, I would say. I think it's at least 15 amp, but I would assume it's 20 actually, based on the weight as I showed you before. So once you turn it on, the throttle will not work for safety reason. On this side, you'll find horn, which is super loud, and headlight. It comes with a bright headlight, which is very large, and also it comes with a tail light, which also pretty bright, and brake light. So it has very good features to ride at night as well. It comes with 7 Shimano shifter, easy to switch if you want to, because it does come with a derailleur, so 7-speed. So if you're going uphill, since this bike is not that powerful, only 400-watt motor, you have a turning derailleur and shift. You can, right now I'm on the smallest one for good pedaling at the highest speed, which is 15 miles an hour. But if you're going uphill, you can switch to larger gears, and this way it will be much easier to pedal uphill. And it's probably can go to many hills, like high hills, no problem at all should be, because the front chainring, it's pretty small, so it will give you good gear shifting, so you can climb the hill on this bicycle easily with a lot of weight on the side as well. So in order to start riding this bike, since this comes with a special feature, you would need to push the brakes, either right side or left side, doesn't matter which one, and then the throttle will start to work. Okay, So if you don't do that, the bike will not move. So let me show you again. Once you turn it on, it starts right away, but it will not work. So if you're buying one of this bike, you need to know this is the feature on this bike. Don't be surprised, the bike will not ride until you do it. The cruise control will be activated after you holding the throttle for a few seconds, actually about 5 seconds sometimes, without pedaling. If you pedal, then 5 seconds after you pedal. So it comes with a pedal assist as well, which will activate it by itself once you start to pedal it. So it'll give you a pedal assist level, 160mm disc brakes, only on the front and rear, mechanical, very simple, easy to maintenance, since they're available basically in any bike shop to replace the pads and adjust easily as well. So this bike is very basic, as I said earlier, but it's good enough to ride at this speed. And actually a lot of people do look around and check it out, talking how cool this bike is when you're riding with a child or you have a dog in it, because it's enough space. And actually it does come with nice padding inside as well and under the feet as well. So this seat can be adjusted back down to put some stuff, or up and sit on it. As I said before, they come with a belt, same like you have in a car usually. Okay, so it's a safer car to ride and come with all the safety feature. About people would say it's not the powerful motor, and yes, you can upgrade it if you want to do some modding. It should be very simple. You can, I'm not sure what the size of drop down, but again, if you get one of this car, you can check to see what lengths and so on, and you can buy basically new motor with a wheel. I would come, and the controller underneath as well over here, well hidden inside, so it's not like it's well protected under the seat, so it will not get wet or heat. So it's very good design as well in this way. You can buy stronger motor, let's say 1000 or even more if you want to, and usually they come in a set of controller and display. So you would need to change basically throttle, display, controller, and the wheel. You probably can keep the battery, it's 48 volt, unless you're gonna go to a 52 volt system. Also, this frame comes with options to attach the second battery, so if you decide just to upgrade for extra battery, it's also very easy to do. Basically, you buy another battery with mounting similar to this and attach it right here. You would wire the wire right underneath the seat with a splitter, and that way you're gonna have dual battery setup. Again, it's all doable, very simple should be. I'm not sure if the controller need to be upgraded, but I think you don't need to upgrade the controller to have both batteries hooked up. It should be 48 volt battery. 52 volt might work as well, maybe create some a little bit additional power, but it might burn the motor or controller. Again, if you decide to upgrade this bike with a higher voltage system, then you would need to change wheel, controller, also get new display. It all comes in a package usually under $1,000 for sure. And let's talk about if this worth modding this bike, because this bike also comes with a front fork, which has a basically steel fork, which has 40mm travel only, so it does not have any adjustment. So it's very basic kind of crown, double crown fork, which I would say just basic because it's a steel fork, no adjustment, but it's working okay. Riding in a city, you will not go off-road on this bike for sure, because not only it's too wide to riding on trails, but also it has a hardtail, so I would not recommend to take it off-road. But if you decide to ride it on the firelands, you can do that. And about the size of this bike, probably a lot of people would still want to pedal this bike when you're going on cruise on the beach or anywhere to save some power and get some exercise. Yes, it's pretty much easy to pedal. As you can see, I'm 5'11". It's not bad at all, because you can sit further if you want to. It will be more comfortable. Again, this kind of e-moped style bicycle, it's not going to be super comfortable as a regular bicycle to pedal, but it's still a pedalable bicycle. As I see it, it's only 31 inches on the lowest position, which probably can fit a shorter person as well, and tall. I think this bike can fit somebody who's 6'3" easily, because handlebar can adjust it higher. I don't think you can attach, well, you can actually have enough wire to attach riser if you want to, but I would not do that for sure. Actually, I feel like this bike pretty large for me as well, and I'm 5'11". It's very good handling the bike, right to left, making turns, it's not bad. I would say it's safe to turns up to 10 miles an hour to making turn on this bike, and about 50 miles an hour or 20 miles an hour going straight. So who would benefit by buying this bike? So if you have a bad balancing and you want to ride with someone or go even grocery shopping, it's actually a very good idea as well, because it has a lot of storage by your side. It's very stable, as you can see. I can sit on it. It will not move anywhere. It's much safer, I think, to ride on this bike than e-tricycle, the one I tried, on the speed up to 50 miles an hour. With e-tricycle, you sit much higher, and possibility to roll over is high as well. As long as you are not going over the speed, as I mentioned before, you should be just fine on this bike. It's very stable on the road with two people or even alone. With two people, actually, it's more better stability, because you get extra weight on the sidecar. So when you're making left turns, the car will not really bring the wheel up. Again, if some adjustment can be done, as I mentioned before, then you don't even have to worry about that as well. And that's all about this bike. I thank you for watching it. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.